Okay, Craig Brown at ECR Minerals, thank you for joining me. The big question is, everyone sitting here, everyone out there wants to know about your company. Why should they invest in you? Big question.
Big question. Well, ECR Minerals is certainly going to do very well going forward. We've turned the company around, we've changed our financing structure, repaid previous corporate debt. We've reviewed all of the projects, decided to put one on the back burner, and two of the projects we think there's real value in it. We can realise real value for the shareholders, so we're going ahead with new drill programs for those projects, and the company's moving in a new direction.
Okay, a new direction. There are quite a few mining companies here this evening. I mean, what makes yours different from any other?
Well, the team behind it's a start. The last three mines I've been involved in the last three companies I've been involved in have all put large mines into production. The last company I was the managing director of, we took a small exploration company. We discovered over $8 billion worth of gold in the ground. We completed a bankable feasibility study, put the mine into production. It's producing, and we raised over $250 million worth of debt to finance the project. So that was the last project. The other two projects, successful gold mines in Central Asia, all profitable, all in production today.
Wow, and you were saying to me that you only started in September as the chief executive.
Yes.
So what's been going on since you began? You've made quite an impact.
Yes, well, as I say, the company, I'd been with the company a few months before, but in a part-time finance director role. I identified the problems with the company and I started to change them around, change the financing structure, brought new members on the board, Christian Dennis and Ivor Jones, who are very competent in their own separate fields, and reviewed the projects and started driving ahead with in a new direction.
So could you tell me about some of those projects? Chryso Resources?
Chryso was the previous company that I was involved in.
Oh, okay.
As I say, we listed that on AIM in 2004. We spent a few years discovering and proving up resources. We got to over 5 million ounces of gold in the ground, started off with nothing. There's very few exploration companies which actually find an economic resource, but we didn't only find an economic resource, we also put it into production. And the statistics are that only 1 in 50 exploration companies find an economic resource and put it into production themselves.
Okay. Now, in terms of the next few months, what's coming up?
Well, we've got an exciting drill program on our exploration projects in Victoria, Australia. We have two projects currently, the Avoca and the Bailiston project. We've also got license applications in for two more, and we should hear about the news on one of those new applications in the next couple of weeks. One of the projects on the Bailiston licensed area, we're drilling out at a Byron prospect. We've identified high-grade mineralisation which was mined back in the 1850s to 1910, and this prospect has the potential. There's a lot more mineralisation, high-grade mineralisation there, between 15 to 30 grams per tonne, as well as we've completed trenches on surface, soil samples, and we're getting indications of about 3 grams per tonne. We'd like to drill it out further and turn it into a small open pit. We also, within our exploration areas, we see another 4 or 5 targets along the same line. Our objective is to get inferred resources on these projects and then potentially spin them off into a new listing on the ASX.
Okay, and where does Shenyang come into this?
Well, I've worked with the Chinese before. The Chinese investors are great for providing capital. They can also arrange cheap debt financing from China. There's a whole market for technology. A lot of your mining equipment, if you can purchase out of China with a reliable contacts, you can operate a lot more effectively. Shenyang has a large is an equipment supplier for Volvo mining equipment in China, so they can supply both contractors and equipment to do the work.
So why are you here tonight then? What's the big question is, what do you want from everyone out here?
Well, I just want to tell my story and make sure that the investors have confidence that the company's in good hands and it's going forward. And I think watch this space. There's a lot of news flow coming. The company's still substantially undervalued, and I think you could see a price increase of the company could be several times higher in the next few months. The last company, Chryso, most of our investors made 10 times on their money. I don't see any reason why they can't out of ECR.
Wow, that sounds like a good deal to me, but I'm not the expert. So you seem to be working in all sorts of places around the world. You mentioned China there, Argentina and Australia, have I got that right?
No. China is our investors,
Okay.
where our investors from. We have 3 projects: Philippines, which is basically on the back burner at the moment due to the current political situation not being favourable towards mining in the Philippines. Australia, we've got these great projects over there, and we're also working in Argentina. We have some 7 tenements in Argentina, quite high grade mineralisation. We're going to drill it out into a inferred resource, and we released an exploration target recently, and we're quite confident that the project will be substantially higher than what the resources that we've currently projected.
Wow, so what's so exciting about ECR then?
Well, I think what's exciting is that you'll see movement in the company. You'll see it's a sound place to invest, and investors will get a return if they're patient over the next 12 months.
Yes, yeah, so a lot of confidence there that it's a sound company to invest in.
Yes, well, the money's in safe hands, so we'll make the right decisions and make sure the company is controlled properly and develops in the right manner.
Yeah, well, you're the boss.
That's right. Well, I have a board of directors keeping an eye on me as well, and also involved in making the decisions at the same time. But I'm confident that things will go well.
Brilliant. And sort of just to sum up to anyone who doesn't, know your company, when it's, what's unique about your company when they're looking at different companies that are quite similar?
Well, there's a lot of companies out there which are just promoting news stories, and they're just providing work so that they can spin a story and get investors interested. But my objective is to produce a long-term asset and give real value for shareholders. So I think that it's the long-term perspective that this company's not just fly-by-night. It will be here for a long time to come.
Brilliant. And before I let you go, is there anything else that you wanted to let people know before I let you go, set you free to have more lemonade?
Okay. No, well, I think the company's got good prospects, a good management team, and that we've got good solid investors now behind us, and I think you'd be surprised how well this company does going forward. So it's a great time to invest.
Great. You're off the hook.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much,
Thanks.
Louisa.
Lovely to
Thank
meet you anyway.
Bye-bye.